Hello, everyone. The clip you're about to hear is from one of our exclusive Patreon episodes on a recent horror release, and just like all of our other episodes, it might include major spoilers for said horror release, so don't listen to it if you haven't already seen it. You've officially been warned. And if you'd like to hear the full episode, just head on over to patreon.com/horrorqueers and subscribe today. Without further ado, here is your exclusive Patreon clip. With this movie, let's go into the naughty bits.
Oh, like Lady with the Dick part?
Well, yeah, okay, so this movie is called Possessor Uncut, but I promise you there is nothing uncut in this film involving penis shafts.
Well, and even there is nothing uncut about this movie. This is literally the movie that was released at Sundance. They just rebranded it.
Yeah. That being said, though, I think if because there's no rating. Like if they submitted this to the MPAA, they would be cutting out those erect penis shots. Like that. It's not Sean Bean's teeth getting pulled out of his face with a fireplace poker.
Love it.
It is the shots of the two erect penises, one of which is belonging to Andrea Riseborough.
Yes, and actually one of the things that she had to agree upon, so that was in the original script, and then Brendan Cronenberg was like, okay, I want Andrea Riseborough, but I'm not sure if I can get her, so I have to be ready to take this scene out because it may be too provocative. And apparently when she signed on, she was like, so we're going to keep that scene in, right? And he was like,
yes. I love that. Okay, so they really wanted this scene in. Why?
So for me, I really want to caution people against doing some kind of trans reading here because I don't believe that is the intention at all.
No, because her gender identity is never in question here. Exactly. It's just that she is a woman who is in the body of a man.
Exactly. And for me, that's one of the fascinating... It's identity politics, but it's also body horror. And this comes into play more as the film progresses. And, you know, we get people's faces getting ripped off and turned into mass. And it's amazing. But to me, it's all about the fascination with bodies and, you know, basically how a mind and a body correlate. So from this moment, you know, like we keep getting references that Voss is off, right? So Ava tells Colin, oh, you're acting weird, you're acting so different lately. Yeah. And for me, the big question mark was going to be whether he could pull off this sex scene, whether Voss could replicate a sexual situation, because even like the way people kiss is different. So I kept looking for the physical intimacy pieces to be the giveaway that this wasn't Colin, this was Voss inhabiting Colin. And I love this idea that she's also simultaneously interested in human anatomy and like what feels different being in different people's bodies, and in this case having a dick where she doesn't normally have one.
But I'm also sure that this isn't the first time she's inhabited a man's body, or I'm sorry, someone with a penis. But it's always a fascinating aspect, and again, I keep saying body swap, but like of body swap movies where you don't get a lot of gender flipping. Although again, as of this recording, we have not seen Freaky, so we may be diving into this discussion again in a week.
Correct, yeah.
But it's something that's never explored, because again, granted, when you think of body swap, you think of Freaky Friday. Maybe Big, which isn't really a body swap movie, but it's just, you know, bigger. And they do a little bit in that movie where he like marvels at how big his penis is now. But there's never much focus on the sexuality or the genitalia of it all.
It's usually like for a joke, right?
Yes.
It's like, I've got tits now, I've got a dick now. And here it's very much not funny.
Oh, yeah. Jumanji, when the hot girl becomes Jack Black.
Right, yeah. Like, I think the comedic moment is actually when Colin first wakes up and he goes to the bathroom, you know, it's as Voss, or Voss as Colin, and she clearly checks out his dick in the mirror. And we get, like, half a shaft. And that, to me, was, like, the funny ha-ha moment. And then during this sex, it's like, oh, this is far more upsetting because we're really seeing how the mind and the body are mixing, but also maybe their minds are already starting to mix at this point.
The implications are also really interesting too, because it's not just like, okay, like, so yes, we have a woman here who has a penis and she's like using it to have sex. I'm also just seeing anything back at the flip side, you know, like what if it was let's say a straight man too, not a gay one, who is in the body of a woman and has to be penetrated for the first time, you know? Like,
yeah, that's a very different experience.
It's a very different experience, but it's a fascinating concept, and that's all I could think. I mean, that's not all I could think of watching this scene. And it's not even, again, this shot of Riseborough with a penis is like a second, maybe 2 seconds long, part of a longer sex scene. Granted, the sex scene goes on for quite a bit, but I really appreciate the film choosing to go there
Mm-hmm.
when a lot of films wouldn't.
It was late in the afternoon when the Professor and I took our way towards the east, whence I knew Jonathan was coming.
Jonathan Harker has asked me to note this, as he says he is hardly equal to the task, and he wants an exact record kept.
Dear Madam Mina, I have read your husband's so wonderful diary. Strange and terrible as it is true. I will pledge my life on it.
God preserve my sanity, for to this I am reduced. Safety and the assurance of safety are things of the past.
I am in hopes that I shall see more of you at Castle Dracula.
Listen to Regarding Dracula wherever you listen to podcasts, or find us online at bloody.fm.